if you need a drink, we've got some water for you all. No, 1 minute. Sing you a little song or something. Will that work? The use of these facilities, and talking of, there were baths in the lobby as well, if you're interested in those. My name is Sean Carter, in command of the second flat and the Coleman Creek fires. So we'll be talking about those and the Bull Mountain fires. So you're going to get a lot of information this evening. I know that's kind of good feedback, so it's going to be a lot of, hopefully, a big open to you all. I've got a lot of people up here, sitting up here, and they're primarily here just to answer those questions, just in case. But we do have some people going to speak. Today, Harney County Judge Bill Hart, Oregon State Fire Marshal, County Sheriff Dan Jenkins, Agency Administrator Zone Shane Thiel, for Second Flat and Commanders Kyle Jacobson and Nick Bunch, Bull Mountain Fires Incident Commander Matt Johnson, Fires Operations Section Chief Trevor Johnson, Dispute Stubble about Bull Mountain Fires, and we also have from an incident meter as well. And I don't want to forget Harney County.
Geesh, it's been 2.5. It's quit on me. It's been running. You know, you hear about experience and these big major complex fires. Well, this past weekend, as things started to escalate and get the designation, the conflagration delegation, and our state part, 2 day shift task force and 3 evening, like the rural structural fire protection force. You know, they're doing great work for us now. I'm happy on one hand and happy on the other, but out of all the fire, today I found out we've only lost and whatnot, but just 1 resident. So, you know, it's the Red Cross helping us stand up shelter. It's been a lot of work. I want to thank our emergency manager, Carrie Conaway, for Red Cross and standing up our EOC and making sure that I had to write notes, because I say half of what I want to say if I don't write it down. I think that's about it. Yep, I think I covered it all. Closing for myself, that thank you to all the outside help that's come in to help Harney County. One individual, one gentleman out there somewhere, I don't think there's a team, but there is a gentleman out there from England that's out there fighting fires too. response to our fires, and I greatly appreciate
adjacent to or on the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge, and we've moved both of those fires into patrol status. No noticeable smoke. We're presence there, watching and making sure that nothing, with this lower humidity, higher wind days coming up. Party of this fire, all the uplands are in really good shape. A lot of grass, a lot of is out in these marshes. So dry right now, it's not flooded. And so peat soil will burn, a lot like charcoal in your grill. In this area of the refuge. And so, refuge project leader went out in the refuge bulldozer to that worked. We put some water on it from a helicopter, and it stopped everything for a day or two. But beast to fight, and so it came back. Our fire trucks out in the marsh, working with that refuge manager, and of course they were able to get that out, and Jess was able to show them some potential. Working with the Nevada team, they're going to be going out more in that marsh and trying to take care of that organic soil fire. It's just, and when those humidities drop and the wind picks up. And so over on Bald Mountain, there's been a lot of work that's gone on here. We had 15, did an amazing amount of work, and making sure everything was safe. 1,100 cattle, 1,100 cattle down here, 800 up here. Make sure that those cattle were protected. So all that went really good. Walked and worked their way all the way to the south. So it's looking really good down there. We've still got heat, what we call Division Alpha, and we've still got some heat up here, up on this ridge line, and we're able to hold that yesterday afternoon, spread any further. And we're able to hold that yesterday afternoon, spread any further. Working really close with the Rangeland Fire Protection. All of their equipment working side by side with our firefighters. And like I said, watching these 1,100 cattle down here, the 800 cattle up here, these folks decided they wanted to move this morning, so we kind of paused our operations for a little while that went down the fire line.
He is the incident commander of the Nevada Incident Type 3, Nevada Incident Type 3, Team 4. Highly competent, qualified incident part of your community for the past 2 weeks. You got a beautiful place.
Next up for the second flat Coleman Creek fires operational update. Second flat Coleman Creek fires operational update will be Operations Section Chief Trevor Johnson.
Good evening, everybody. Online. Turned around for us. Look at the map. Just want to say thanks to everybody from the blue team giving us the in-brief on the second flat and all the coordination there. Looking for the second flat fire here just outside of Burns. A little over 100,000 acres right now, and great work by all the firefighters. 1,000 acres right now, and great work by all the firefighters, the RFPAs, a lot of stuff going on across the landscape. Going direct, meaning we're going to pick up the fire line. The goal with that is to get a fire line around all this stuff pretty quickly, right, when we have adequate resources. But the June it has potential to flare up again and throw a spot across our containment line. So basically, every securing the southern border of the fire. Our priority between the Coleman Creek and the second flat is the community here in Burns, Hines, and Depression resources to contain that fire. Also, that fire here, doing good stuff, getting around all this, being super diligent in our control of the line. That continues between here and Riley, Sage Hen Hill area. We show edge. We're still showing heat in there from our, but we're using aircraft and everything in our toolbox to basically combat that you may be familiar with. Up on the west side of the fire, this was kind of the anchor initially. Edge, we're feeling secure about that. The most significant smoke you've probably seen edge in what was the Egypt fire from earlier this year. So the fires, due to prioritization and lack of resources, we didn't put our folks directly in here and infrastructure in here. Now with how we're feeling in here, and crews up here today, we had aircraft overhead. We're picking up that edge of fire line direct. We found the most successful in this fuel type, two primary options that we're using in this fuel type to control the fire. We're feeling good about what can answer future questions, is everybody's kind of aware of the weather that's incoming this weekend. That cold front passage is predominantly going to shove the fire out towards the east, keeping additional resources in here because we don't want anything to come out or surprise. Flat, and appreciate all the help with that. I'll now move over to the Coleman Creek incident. If I step over there, so I'll kind of point from not a lot of great features. Us out is we've really done a good job on talking to them within our containment lines. That continues all the way out through Gentura, where we have kind of a full push the button. Okay, so that continues corridor. Now, with the forecasted winds we've had, this fire made runs of 13 miles, 7 miles, 10 miles over consecutive days. That's out really planned in and take control of the, and we brought fire. We're not looking at topo lines here, but brought fire down on our terms, down to Highway 20. Basically building our own anchor point or corner to corridor. That's a monumental task in there. We've been supported by out there that can drop basically ping pong balls filled with behavior on the landscape instead of anything extreme. This wind and the winds out here continue to challenge us. While that, using some folks from the local who did a great job, they put in a dozer line out here as a sort of checking feature, and then they're using Shumway Cutoff Road back to the west, and they've now tied to steer the fire to where it gives us the opportunity to choke it down. About 10 miles left in there along Crowley and Shumway resource, so getting them to help us out with this has been a huge they're helping us with bulldozers. We got aircraft on scene. Resources are there helping us with bulldozers. We got aircraft on scene.
Resources are stretched extremely thin. So I do really want to just take a moment to anybody that's been helping Burns, Vale districts. We would not have been assisting with these operations. So a lot of this movement that's occurring in the progress, appreciate you everyone being here. Be more than happy to take questions. Thank you, sir. Well, now's the time. It's your chance to ask any of those questions. 5 minutes to get through these questions. We're also streaming questions coming from online at the same time. I don't know. We'll find out. So what I want to do, take the first 3 hands that go up. We'll ask those questions in order, and then back and forward until all your questions are done, or we run out of time. How does that sound? All right. So the first 3 hands. I saw you, ma'am.
The weather front that's coming in, is it bringing, do you know?
So it's quite a very wide and very good question. Is like, what are we going to expect to see with this weather front coming?
Good evening. This type of front coming in is what's known as a dry cold front. So what we're going to be dealing with a front like this is mainly just the winds. We're not looking for any dry thunderstorms. Unfortunately, any rain with this. This is going to be a afternoon, and we're looking at northwest winds gusting between 30 and 40 miles per hour.
Thank you. Is there any more questions from the audience? No? Anything from online? No online either. Wow, I must have done a good job. And we've got plenty of information officers, say these officers who've come out to pass on